Hello, 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 and welcome or welcome back. I'm Shakia, and in this episode, we're going to continue our series of Meet the Cast from the show Love Without Borders. Okay, next up we have Phil. Phil is from Atlanta. He's a musician. He says, listen, the women in Atlanta, they are not checking for musicians unless the musician has already made it. And so Phil says he is struggling to find genuine love. He's struggling to find that connection that he says he's looking for. He said that he has been single for 7 months, celibate for 4, but single for 7 months. Now, here's the thing. If he's been single for 7 months, this is less than a year. Are you really ready to find this deep love? I don't know. It's just like you've only been single for 7 months. I wonder how long he was in a relationship for prior to breaking up. I don't think that they mentioned it, and if they did, I missed it. But I'm curious. I'm curious. Like, are you ready to be out there and find this deep love that you say you want when you've only been single for 7 months? But maybe he's saying, look, I'm ready. I'm ready to settle down. I know what I want. I haven't found it. And so now I'm going to utilize the help of Erica, the matchmaker, and wherever she sends me, I will go. And he does. Now, let's back up a little bit. Phil is talking to his older brother about this experience, and his older brother is like, well, where you going? Phil says, I don't know. Well, how long you going to be there? I don't know. Because at this point, the answers to those questions are still unknown. Phil does share that he was raised by this younger brother when his mother unfortunately passed away when he was younger. He says that his father wasn't really involved in his life all that much, and that, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Now, his father is Philip Michael Thomas Sr.
My dad is one of the biggest baby makers on the planet. He is Philip Michael Thomas from the show Miami Vice.
This man is in his 70s and he's still so handsome. And most people might know him from, he's an actor, and most people might know him from Miami Vice, but I remember him from the movie Sparkle, the original. Come on, tell me you're with me. You know what movie I'm talking about, Sparkle? Let me know in the comments if you watched the original. But his father was an actor. Phil says that he has about 15 siblings, aka Papa was a Rolling Stone, and he wasn't really involved in his life when he was younger. His father wasn't really involved in his life when he was younger. Thus, he was raised by his older brother when his mother unfortunately passed away. Now, Phil's brother is skeptical, as most of us are watching, right? So imagine being the family member.
But I don't know which country.
That's scary, man.
That is scary. Wow.
I'm nervous for you. Man.
I'm nervous.
I'm really nervous.
Nonetheless, he's supportive. He's like, okay, well, this sounds interesting, but do you? Fast forward now, Erica pulls up to Phil's house and she's like, I got a match for you, she says from the car. And Phil is like, oh, let's do this. But first, I got to get my hair cut. So they have a barber come over. He gets his faux locks cut off, which is something he later learns he had in common with his match. He gets his locks cut off, and he starts packing. And he shows Erica that he's also going to be taking some cleaning supplies. He doesn't know where he's going, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pack these clothes. But I got to take my cleaning supplies." And so he has the wipes that he's gonna take and some other stuff. They get to the airport. Erica hands Phil his boarding pass, and Phil sees that he's going to Ghana. And he's super excited about this because Ghana was actually the last place his mom had gone to before she passed away. And so he felt a special connection. He hadn't gone. His mom said that she was going to take him on the next trip, but unfortunately, she passed away before that was able to happen. And so he was really excited to see that he would be traveling to Ghana. And I thought that was a sweet moment. Okay, so now Phil gets to Ghana. He sees Carmen. That's his match. And Carmen comes out and she's all curvy and gorgeous with these long, beautiful locks. Later he learns they are in fact faux locks. And she's like, what, you thought this was my real hair? And they share that joke. And so, but he gets to Ghana, he's liking what he sees, and they hit it off. So she's showing him around the place, and and they're talking and everything. And he asks, well, can I take off my shoes because I've been in public bathrooms and all this stuff? And she says, yeah, this is your home and I'll clean up later. And so he takes off his shoes and he lets her know, I brought some cleaning supplies. And she's like, where do you think you're going? Like, it was a little insulting. Like, you think I don't have cleaning supplies? You think I'm not going to keep my place clean? I'm bringing you here. I'm bringing these cameras here. And you think I'm not going to keep my place clean? That's how she was looking at him like, okay, boy.
I'm very serious about my cleanliness.
And he's just like, I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. And so I like to just make sure I'm clean at all times. Okay, so we fast forward later in the night. Homeboy's talking about being clean and all this stuff. And he ends up taking a shower. But it is not like a shower that he's used to.
What does he think about the bucket shower?
I left America for this, the bucket. Cold showers, they're like good for your senses and help build up your immunity and all that kind of stuff. But know where we could heat up some of this water, just to get like a good hot and cold mixture and make it lukewarm.
So Phil wasn't feeling the bucket shower. He got out the shower and he's like, okay, I feel a little bit better. And Carmen is like, oh, do you? You feel all like fresh and clean? And he's like, a little bit. Not all the way where I want to be, but I do feel better. And so, for the most part, they're vibing off of each other. He talks to her about being celibate for 4 months. And she's like, ooh, I don't know if I could do that. She also says, Carmen says that she utilized Erica's help to find a match because in Ghana, where she lives in the town, everybody already knows who you've been with. And she's just like, I want somebody else, right? I don't want folk all up in my business. And so he's talking to her. They're talking about, going out and different things like that. And he says, well, I'll help you slow down a little bit. And she's like, yeah, but we're still going to have fun. And so here you start to notice that there definitely are some differences. And I wonder if those differences will help or hinder this particular match. Because so far we see that Carmen might be more of a party girl. Philip seems to be a little bit more laid back, although that viewpoint may change later throughout the season because it definitely starts to evolve as the episodes continue. And so we wonder, will they be able to make this work? So I did mention that Phil is a musician and Carmen is also an artist. She designs jewelry and different things like that. And so they're both creative. And so they have that in common, which, hopefully they can use that to bond over and build a connection with one another. Okay, we're going to jump ahead a little bit to episode 3. That's where Phil learns that Carmen has these faux locks. They go to a pool and they are showering before they get into the pool. And he's looking at her and Carmen is just looking all fierce with honey because, she has these curves, okay? You can't tell Miss Thing nothing, all right? And Phil is checking her out and she's checking him out and they checking each other out. And so both seems to like what they see. And eventually they head into the pool and they're flirting with one another and just, vibing. They're vibing. And there seems to be a connection. Now, this is when I go, I wonder if I wonder if they can form a deep connection beyond the surface, beyond the superficial, because right now they're in that phase of, I like what I see, right? And so I wonder if it can go beyond that. And it makes sense. They like what they see. This is the first time they're meeting and so, they spend a day or so together and they're going off of what they have. And so right now it's this physical attraction. But we all know that it takes more than physical attraction to make a relationship work. Will they be able to form a deeper connection with each other? I wonder. So then we fast forward to episode 4 and Phil and Carmen, they go skating. Carmen takes him to a skate park that they just got in her town, and they're hanging out again, vibing. Like they do have something there. There definitely is an attraction, and I just really hope it can go deeper. But anyway, so they're vibing, and then they start talking, and he does share he at this point he's already shared with Carmen that Ghana was a special place for him because this is where his mom had gone before passing away, and this is a place where he's wanted to visit. In this particular scene at the skate park, Carmen tells Phil that she was so excited when she got to meet Rita Marley, the wife of the late Bob Marley. And she's like, oh my God. I was like, oh, she touched me. Like she said hi to me. And Carmen was younger then. And so they're sharing some experiences. And Phil goes, well, actually, Rita is my godmother. And Carmen is like, no way. That's so cool. She lives here in Ghana. And Phil says, well, no, she's actually back in the States and blah, 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 blah. But Phil says, yeah, she, would come to Ghana. They would do work here in Ghana. And so something else that they have to bond over. And Carmen is like, this is awesome. Now we fast forward and you know what? I'm just going to show you.
Remember, you never wanted to give me your Instagram?
Uh-huh.
So you don't have no social media?
I do. But let's exchange that later.
Guess what I found last night? It was so easy, man.
I wasn't necessarily hiding my Instagram from you.
Ever since I found out that Rita Marley is Philip's godmother, I realized that there's still a lot to find out about him.
I mean, you go.
So she's like, look, if you can hide this from me, what else are you hiding? Who else do you know? And so she wants to find out more. And we live in the era of social media. And so what do? You look somebody up, which it's still creepy. Don't get me wrong. It's creepy. But this is the era that we live in. So she finds his social, she finds his Instagram, and she's like, it wasn't that hard. And he's like, duh, I wasn't really hiding it. I just want you to get to know me for me and not what you see on the gram. And she's like, well, I bet you didn't want me to see this because I saw what you had been posting. So Phil is like, what are you talking about? I'm just posting my music stuff. Carmen is like, You're thirst trapping.
I mean, you go on there, it's like, what is on there? Like, I'm being goofy, I got my shirt off, and I'm talking about music. Like, you know what I mean?
I kind of understood why you didn't want to give it to me.
Why?
I mean, like, because of the things you post.
What?
A lot of thirst trapping.
What are you talking about?
You in the blue pants?
That is me entertaining. You know what I mean? Like.
Okay.
So you're basically judging me off of one post?
No, please. You have 1,020 posts or something. Some people's definitely a tease for me to turn on.
The fact that you went looking is kind of like, it's like OD.
Why is it OD? You're living in my house, man. It's OD that you're holding it away from me.
Now, later, as that scene continues, Phil says, but what's the difference between what I'm doing and what you're doing? You have all these photos on your feed of you in bikinis. And she's like, I live in a beach town. I'm at the beach. What do you expect? And Phil is like, but it's the same thing. Carmen is like, nah. You're putting that out there for a certain type of attention. According to Carmen, she's like, no, if I'm at, the beach or the pool and I have on my bikini and I want to take a photo, I'm going to take a photo. Okay, I'm going to show this body, okay? And so unlike Mr. Phil, who's taking these photos of him in his underwear, showing that print in the bathroom, she's saying, that's different. You are, what you're really trying to do, Phil, what you're really trying to do. So, they have an exchange about that. And this is where we see like the first disagreement. He's like, she's like, stop interrupting me, from talking. And he says, well, you're always talking. When I speak, you don't let me speak. You jump in. And so now we're starting to see conflict happen. And it'll be interesting to see how they resolve the conflict if they are able to. Hopefully they are able to. And again, this goes back to the comment of whether or not they can build a deeper connection beyond just the physical attraction. So let me know, do you think Carmen was wrong for going to look at Phil's Instagram? Also, do you think that Carmen and Phil are posting the same type of content? Do you feel it's the same thing? Or is there a difference? Let us know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. So let me know, what do you think about Phil and Carmen? Do you think this is a good match? Do they seem like they want real love, deep love, genuine love? Or are they just having fun? I don't know. We kind of passed that phase of just having fun when one person flies all the way to Ghana to go and meet his potential match, his potential perfect match. Although nobody's perfect. But what do we think about this pairing? Can they form something deeper? I don't know, but we'll keep watching. And I hope you keep watching too. Come on back, come on back. Listen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I want you to go out and have a courageous day and come on back for the next video. But until then, bye for now.